Adam had actually told us that you don't really pay attention to college sports as much due to work schedules and everything else.
Yeah.
But you started down a road that I really wanted to get on recording. So go ahead and share with us.
Yeah, of course, my working nights and weekends, I'm usually playing catch up if I do if there's a game or anything like that in sports that I want to catch up on. And so I almost just gave up on trying. But it always I love football. That was pretty much my whole identity going through high school and everything was being a star football player. So when I got out of high school and I had some football scholarships that but none of them were the big schools that I wanted to go to, which I kind of screwed up that chance, I think, looking back on it, by maybe making some prank calls to a coach that I did not know was in charge of stuff that I should but
what'd you do? Call me I want to walk on. The name's Seymour Butts.
No, I was so after my junior year, that summer, you go to all these football combines and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've started getting letters from, the Razorbacks and Army and all kinds of stuff like this. And I would get the letters, and they're usually requesting videotape, highlight tapes and game film. And I would take them to the coach that's in charge of the game film. Didn't realize that the coach in charge of the game film and sending those out and everything is the one that I've been prank calling during track season. And we would get bored on the way home from the track bus on the track bus, and they'd be like, "Hey, call this guy." And so, and my big deal was to call him and he did I was like, he'll never find out who this was.
Right.
looking back on it, I was like, he definitely found out who it was.
He knew day one.
Yeah. But we'd prank call him. I'd act like I was the movie store, and I was like, hey, you have all this gay porn that you need to return, dude, and your late fees are getting stacked up. And I would I called him and prank called him a couple times, and I got used to doing that on the way back home from track meets just because of long bus rides and stuff.
So it's just a pastime.
But yeah,
let's ruin this dude's night.
It's just kids messing around.
But when it came time to send out all these highlight films and game films and stuff that these colleges were requesting, he was dragging his feet, and I don't even think they ever got them. But I was like, I would hear from that coach at that college and be like, hey, we haven't seen your game films yet. And I was like, okay. I'll go ask him, and he was like, yeah, I'll get on it, and then just walk off.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll return it with the video.
Yeah. So looking back on that, I was like, I might have screwed that up a little bit as far as getting it, because those scholarships go quick at the D1 level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I played in the All-Star game in 2006. And after that, Washita Baptist calls me and was like, hey, and I went to the recruiting day, and they didn't pay any attention to me on the recruiting day. And I was like, this is pretty dumb. And they got freaking stomped on their recruiting day,
right?
Because you go to a game, and then we go to the field house and the weight room and everything. And I was like, well, day one, I'm the fastest guy and the strongest guy here if I come here,
right?
And they weren't even talking to me. So, but after the All-Star game, I got a call from that coach, and he's like, hey, to be honest, we didn't talk to you very much at the recruiting day because we were planning on getting a JUCO linebacker, and he was like, but after the All-Star game, we were watching you. He's like, we think you're already better than that guy, so we're going to give you a full ride here. And I was like, and I had just found out that I got an academic scholarship, so my college was paid for. And I was like, I'm not going to, go beat my brains out for another 4 years for no reason.
Right.
And which was a tough call because I loved playing football.
No doubt.
But I was, racking up injuries, and I played like a freaking wild man. So I had between that and motocross, I think at the end of high school, I was already at 8 concussions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Some of them were bad.
2 or 3 of them real bad. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, one of them.
Well, they used to say you just got your bell rung, remember?
Yeah.
Mine were there was a couple games where every time I come off the sideline, I was puking. When we played Fayetteville, I went blind in my left eye for 5 minutes. And then in that whole, at halftime, I didn't even go into the locker room. I just stayed outside and puked the whole game, or puked the whole halftime.
I think you had a stroke. I don't think.
Yeah, no, that's a severe concussion. Yeah. There's a good reason he wasn't playing.
And then we played oh shoot, I forgot their name, but there was this. They had a huge quarterback who was actually their middle linebacker too, and I think he went to LSU to be a middle linebacker. But I hit him when he was dropping back to throw a pass, and I got a pretty damn good concussion. Ended up playing the whole game with a concussion, and went home in an ambulance after the game. I was sitting at my locker. I don't remember changing or anything, but I was in my gym shorts and a shirt, just sitting in front of my locker, and I didn't realize everybody was leaving. Like, all the other players were just like, and I was just sitting there, and they were like, they went and got the trainer. Was like, hey, something's wrong with him. And they got me in the trainer's room, and I laid down, and I just got so relaxed that I started to, I closed my eyes, and then I just couldn't open my eyes again. And I could talk to them, but I got so relaxed, like I was trying to go to sleep. Yeah. And they couldn't keep me awake. Yeah. And it felt like I was paralyzed, but I could still talk to them. I could hear them and talk to them, and that's about all I could do. And they took me in an ambulance, and they put me I was on a backboard waiting for a CAT scan in the hospital for like 3 or 4 hours. And when I was laying there, I was like, hey, Mom, I didn't realize I couldn't move my arms or anything until my mom was like, I was like, hey, unstrap my arms. I got to scratch my face because I had a neck brace on and strapped down. And she was like, your arms aren't tied down. I was like, oh.
Like, oh, no. Are you for real?
Yeah.
Look again. Make sure.
Yeah. So I had to miss a couple games, or I missed the one game after that. Which it was late in the season, and it kind of sucked to have to miss that game because it actually screwed me up for breaking the most tackles record at Alma. Okay. So I ended up, I missed one at the beginning of the season and then one at the end, and I was on track to break that record even with missing that first game until I missed that second one. So it really screwed me up there because I think I ended up with 112. And the record was 135, which is Adam Daly, who played for the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
And which, I kind of got compared to him a lot back then. But I really wanted that record for that reason.
Right.
But, that got screwed up. And so going through all that stuff, when it came to, after football was over, well, I'd go to Razorback games and stuff like that and be like, man, I should be on the field. Man, I was playing with all these guys. And then, I'd see, Darren McFadden made it to the NFL, and I was like, we played that guy. I played him my junior year in high school. And in his defense, he was him and one other guy on his team. They were basically, they would switch. He would be the quarterback, and the other dude would be at wide receiver or tailback. And they were just playing catch, and the rest of the team sucked.
Fair enough.
And they were both of them were playing both ways the whole time because they were the only two guys that were good on their team. But still, he was averaging 200 yards per game, and I think he only needed 70-something yards to break 2,000 that year. And, at Alma, we ended up holding him to 44 that game. And it was raining, so they complained that the field was wet, and they said that we watered our field, but it definitely just been raining that day.
Right. I think God watered it, actually.
But yeah, it was, but I going head to head with Darren McFadden and stuff like that. And which that dude, I don't know how old he was in high school, but that dude seemed like you're playing against a grown man.
He wasn't no boy, huh?
Yeah. I'm 17, and I'm guessing he was probably 18 or 19.
Rolling around campus in that custom car.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Grizzle, if you didn't know.
But yeah, you see, I'd see guys like that, and then we played a lot of guys from Wynn. A couple of those went to the NFL and stuff like that, and you'd see them playing, and I'd be like, damn, I should be out there. But then I was like, I might have only made it, 1 or 2 years and then got injured and never played again anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, yeah, with the amount of concussions that you endured, dude.
Yeah, that was the big one. Was there was a period of time after those concussions where it was I would be talking to somebody and then I would just start like slurring or stuttering, and I would never stuttered before. That was weird.
Yeah,
like I would just.
I'm gonna have to hit the reset button on this conversation.
And the thing is, like, you're going through school the whole time. Like, I got a concussion on Friday. I got a test this next Friday.
Yeah,
like,
right.
and you're like,
I can't help but notice during football season, your grades really struggle. You're like, well, it's funny you should mention that. My brain doesn't work properly
you
during
got
football
migraines
season.
all the
Like,
time.
you guys are lucky I'm wearing pants.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's so like I'm trying not to relive those high school glory days, but because like all that stuff comes back when you start watching football.
Sure,
for me.
Sure, especially whenever you are, at least a D1 prospect,
Yeah.
at one time,
Right.
I could see how that could
Like
be.
watching Hard Knocks and seeing the guy that's trying to make the roster on the spring training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like he's definitely that guy. He's,
Yeah.
He's the one. He wants to follow the dream, and he'd be doing out there killing himself. And sometimes they make the roster and become all pros. You never know.
Yeah, I say, but if you look at it as a sense of, from a medical standpoint, and say you made a good decision doing that.
I agree.
It ends at some point, and that's what like. When you're young and you're playing football, you never realize like even if you make it to the NFL, 3-4 years, into the NFL, it's probably over. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
you
true,
got to
though.
end it sometime. So and I mean, yeah, it would have been awesome to make it that far and everything, but I'd probably be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, at what cost?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, the same reason Andrew Luck left Indianapolis, left the NFL.
What was it? Freaking Kitna left to play handball. He's like a professional handball player.
I don't know that Kitna left. I think we might have kicked him out.
I thought
he was.
I might be thinking of the wrong quarterback.
No. I think
you're thinking
of
you're
the
thinking of
backup for
Kitna.
Dallas
No.
a couple years ago, I guess.
He was
No.
a starter. He was a starter for the Bengals for a little while.
Yeah.
He was I think he left when he was a starter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he did, and then he came back and was a backup for a
okay.
while.
I
He was a
didn't
backup
realize-
for
I
Dallas,
didn't
and he
realize he
actually
came
got to
back.
start a few games. And I think
Okay.
he won one, but he had so many concussions. You could see it. The poor guy.
So handball's probably a good place for him,
Yeah, quarterbacks getting concussions is a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's getting. You see in like the Indiana Jones movies or something, like the big like swinging log that comes down and just like obliterates someone. That's what life is like as a quarterback, I think. you
Yeah.
know? Especially
you
if
got
you
a
get those.
big monstrous guy like this coming
Yeah,
at
I
you.
would say, especially playing middle linebacker. I mean,
Yeah.
if he breaks through the line, it's over with. Just go ahead and be like, hold on, wait, I'll take a knee. Just don't do it.
I go down. You just touch. It counts. I'm down.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess that makes pretty good sense on why you're not, enthralled in it. I mean, see, I
Yeah.
never played football in high school. I was a basketball player.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I love basketball. I still watch basketball, and I do exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not necessarily reliving. I also coach Little League, so I scream at my TV as if
Yeah.
they're my 5th and 6th grade boys. And I'm like, no one can hear me besides my kids, and they're like, Dad, shut up. But
Yeah, I love basketball too, but I broke my leg in the spring game, the spring scrimmage my sophomore year in football, and it took me out of basketball for 2 years because I shattered my right leg and couldn't.
oh my gosh.
And it damaged the nerves in my foot, so I couldn't really cut and stuff for basketball
right.
anymore. And I tried to come back my senior year a little bit, but I the coach was completely different from the junior high coach, and it made all the plays were different. It was like I'm not going to learn this whole damn system
in one season.
Yeah.
For one, like in one season for one season doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it was really just to stay in shape for football.
Right.
Because at that time I was still planning on going to play college football, so I was like, I'm going to play basketball during the off season in between, and because track off season's boring as shit. So
Right.
because I mean I was real good at discus too, so that's what I did in track
Hercules.
and long jump, which was a weird combination. You see a middle linebacker doing long jump,
Right, yeah.
I was definitely the biggest guy over at the long jump.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's all about jumping, man. Buns and thighs.
Yeah.
You can be a big dude. and
technique.
Still, yeah. If Colby was here, he'd be making some SpongeBob reference. Technique. Anyway, whatever.